Hi, my name is Mike Johnson, and I'm sitting here with Rodney Nichols. Rodney is trying to get to the NFL Combine, and he's on the road to the NFL, and he's taking more of the non-traditional route. So I want to sit down and talk to Rodney about his dreams and aspirations and what brought him to this point today. And again, this is Rodney Nichols. Rodney, how you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing good. So let's talk about this. You're trying to get to the NFL Combine up in Baltimore,
Yes, sir.
and you're trying to take the non-traditional route because a lot of players go through different means to get there, but the route is a little different. So we're going to kind of talk about that today. So let me ask you, what got you into football?
Actually, as a kid, just being up under my uncle a lot and going to watch him play ball all the time and just playing around my neighborhood. You know, he was the one who actually introduced me into the game of football.
Mhm.
You know, take me to his practices and things like that. You know, so
So
that's how I actually
how
got
old were you when you started?
Maybe about 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, did you play a lot of rec ball and full
Yeah,
tackle?
yeah. Actually, the first year I ever played football was with the Peds. I never went to the flag league.
Mhm.
I jumped straight into it with the equipment. I probably because of my age too. Because I was about 6 or 7 when I first started playing,
Mhm.
and that was the age limit where you had to wear equipment.
Mhm.
You know.
So you say your uncle influenced. How what kind of role did your uncle play in your
Uh,
life?
shoot, my uncle he was more like a brother to me when I was little. Because my
Mhm.
dad wasn't around a lot and. He pretty much took me under his wing, and once he showed me the game, and I got interested in it, and started understanding the game early,
Mhm.
and part of that was because of him. Shoot, I was almost watching film like I was in games,
Mhm.
and he showed me a couple players, and it was almost like a competition type thing. Like I see Barry Sanders playing on TV, he'd be like, "You can't do that, you can't do that." And I'm like, "Yes, I can." I go round up my friends in the yard, and we play throw it up and run, and I get the ball scored 10 times, and just
Mhm.
you know, and then that's when I started learning the game. Like this, all you gotta do, just don't get tackled, and I pretty much ran with it from there.
What kind of influence did you have? You said Barry Sanders was one of your favorite players. Who else in
Yeah.
the league was?
Well, when I first got introduced to the game, my favorite two players was Barry Sanders and Ricky Waters. And my uncle was a 49ers fan, and so it was always Ricky Waters. But whenever the Detroit Lions was playing,
Mhm.
that was a game I was really interested in, just to see him play.
Good. So what you started playing high school ball? Did you start on varsity or JV when you?
Now, actually, when I first started playing high school ball, I started off on the JV level, but midway through the season, they had ended up moving me up to the
Mhm.
varsity team.
So as a freshman, you were playing varsity team ball.
No, actually, as a freshman, I didn't even play. I didn't even play high school ball.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed out my freshman year because it was my thing was I wanted to play in every game, and I actually had got my physical late, so I was gonna miss a few games. So I was like, I'm just not gonna play.
Mhm.
But I really regret it, but it was no biggie.
Did you have a lot of support from your family trying to when you started out playing ball, other than your
Uh,
uncle?
well, actually, my uncle was my main supporter because my mother she worked 2 jobs when I was little. So basically it was from the time I got home from school, it was me and him all day.
Mhm.
My mother would probably get home late at night, and she knew I was interested in the game, but she didn't really know how serious I was taking it. And once she actually seen me play and actually seen like I knew what I was doing out there, she pretty much became a #1 fan.
Okay. So we're sitting here at Meadowbrook High School, and this is the high school you went to, right?
Yeah.
And so how was your high school playing career here at Meadowbrook?
When I got in high school, I think that's when I realized like I might got a gift, because it's one thing when you playing in rec ball and you can just run past everybody and just beat everybody to the sideline. But once I got on the high school level and I started playing against, well, I'm on the 10th grade level playing against varsity kids, and I'm producing you know, like I've been there before.
Mhm.
That's when I started realizing, I got a gift, especially my 12th grade year, because I pretty put the team on my back for that year. And we didn't win the championship or anything, but we had a pretty good season that year. And we ended up losing in the playoffs.
Yeah, so let's talk about, you had that championship,
Yeah.
2004. You got that high school championship ring.
Yeah, that was my junior year. I played receiver that year, and that was my first year ever playing wide receiver. I had always played running back or quarterback, and I made the transition to receiver because a guy had dropped a couple passes, and to me it was pretty easy. Like you already out there in the open space. All you gotta do is beat the man and catch the ball, and that came real easy for me. So I had a pretty good year that year also.
Yeah, you got a lot of write-ups in the paper and everything, man. Had a pretty productive season that season.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. You looks like you had everything going for you, promising future. Let's talk about college. What colleges were looking at you? I guess junior year, that's when they start giving you letters of intent and that sort of thing.
Actually, for me, I didn't really started even really thinking about the college route until the summer going into the 12th grade, because that's when I started getting, after I had that good year my junior year, I started getting visits and I started receiving letters and things like that, and coaches was coming up to the school and actually talking to me, but I really wasn't taking it too serious like I really should have.
Why do you think that is?
Just because basically high school for me, it was just pretty much like a breeze. It was like if I came to school, I was gonna pass. I could come to school and maybe sleep half the class and still get a passing grade. So I really didn't take it too serious until it was too late. Actually,
So
that's how I feel about it.
You didn't have any influences to tell you, like your coaching staff or anything like that, to get you prepared for the next level. So you had a couple schools looking at you at that time. What schools were looking at you?
I had Virginia Tech, and I had UVA, and I had a couple other schools.
So I think Syracuse you mentioned.
Yeah, Syracuse, but Syracuse they wanted me to play defensive backs, and I really wasn't too interested in that anyway. But I did Virginia Tech and UVA was kind of heavy on me, but I really didn't produce too much in the classroom, so that kind of held me back from that.
So you end up playing your senior year, and I guess all those offers kind of went to the wayside. So you finished out the senior year playing what position?
Quarterback.
Playing quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did pretty good that year. I was all Metro, and I think I missed the All State just by a little bit, and that had something to do with my grades also. But like I said, when I really didn't even take the college thing serious until I actually started getting looks and guys was actually being interested in me. I was like, oh, like this for real, like.
So kind of missed out on those opportunities for some of the big D1 schools here in Virginia. So after high school, what did you do after you finished your high school career here at Middlebrook?
After high school, I ended up attending a junior college in North Carolina called Lewisburg. And I played the season there. I didn't actually start until maybe about the fourth or fifth game of the season, and actually soon as I got on the field, they realized I had potential. My first punt return ever, I took it to the crib, and just that too, I was like wow, like this, it got to be something else to this, because it's football and it just was coming too easy for me.
Let's talk about Lewisburg for a little while. You up there for what, a couple of years?
Actually, I only did one semester.
One semester up there.
Yeah.
So what happened up there?
I got into a little bit of trouble and I had ended up getting expelled. But I blame that completely on myself, because I left Richmond, but Richmond really didn't leave out of me, and I went up there with the wrong mentality. I ended up getting into some trouble and getting expelled from school.
So, what was the problem?
Well, I had got in trouble with a firearm, you know, and really, I know it's no reason in the world why you should have a firearm at a college campus, but you know, coming from where I come from, and you know, when I was little, my cousin he had got robbed and killed, and he was like a big brother to me also, and you know that was the only reason why I had even the thought even came to my mind about a firearm, and then
So how old was your cousin when he got killed?
he was about 15.
15. He
Yeah,
was gunned down.
yeah, he was robbed and killed on the low key.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, how old were you at the time? What grade were you in?
I was going. I was the summer. I was going to the ninth grade. Yeah, and he was and he was getting ready to go to the 10th grade, and you know that was pretty hard for me because I looked up to him a lot. He was like almost like the man of our family, you know, and he wasn't nothing but 15, and I admired him for that. And then it just after that kind of had me in a different mind frame. Like you know, I won't let that happen to me. And I actually got robbed at gunpoint, and luckily I wasn't shot or anything. You know, and that was an eye opener too. Like it's pretty rough out here. You know.
So you felt that you had to. Let's hear fine in Richmond, but why Lewisburg? I mean, what prompted
Well,
you to feel that you had the need to carry a weapon out of state in a different, on a college setting?
When I went to my first visit at Lewisburg, you know, it wasn't my idea of college at all. You know, it was like project housing, like maybe only a block away from the school, and those kids was always at the school, and it just wasn't really a college environment. It was almost like being in the streets in Richmond, you know, and just by that one visit, you know, I felt like I may need to protect myself out there, you know, and that's pretty much the reason behind me even taking the firearm there. You know, it was quite rough out there.
So you mentioned your uncle earlier, and how he influenced you to start playing football. I mean, where was your male support, your guidance, while you're making that transition from high school to college and everything? Was your uncle still around, or?
Well, my uncle had entered the army when I was in middle school, and so by the time I got to the high school level, he was always in Iraq. He was always going there.
So he's in the military.
Yeah, yeah. And my father, he was around, but he was a workaholic. You know, he'll guide me, but it was almost to a certain extent because that was just him. He was a workaholic. He basically feel like he can guide me, but he can't really. He can show me, but he can't like make me do the right thing. You know. So, and he didn't know at all that I was carrying a firearm. He definitely wouldn't approve of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're up at Lewisburg. You're playing that what, one season or so?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we talked about this about your uncle. And
Yeah.
that one game where you ran with
Yeah.
96 yards.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about that?
My first game that I actually got on the field for a punt return. Like I'm out there. I'm kind of nervous, and I keep hearing someone calling my name, and I'm thinking like I'm all the way out here in North Carolina. There's no way no one out here should know me, you know. And then I look over to the sideline, and it's my uncle, you know, and that pretty much blew my mind. And I caught the punt return. It was maybe about 86 yards, and I had scored, and it just broke me down, because he hadn't seen me play since rec ball, and for him to just be there, and me not knowing he would be there, like you know that was a special moment for me, and he was upset, like what you crying for? What you crying for? You know, and I'm like, man, you finally seen it,
kind of moving, seeing your uncle show up. Was he in his uniform at the time?
No, actually he wasn't, and that was another reason why I didn't actually recognize him at first, you know, but I caught on quick, but he wasn't in uniform, but I knew exactly who he was once I looked over there.
That's good.
And that was real.
You end up leaving Lewisburg. So what's going on after that?
much after Lewisburg, when when I came back from Lewisburg, I kind of felt like, it was a disappointment to my family the way that I left school, you
Hmm.
know. So I was kind of in the hole. I didn't really know what else to do for a while. I was kind of stuck. I worked a couple jobs, but I knew deep down, like, at the end of the day, I wanted to play football. I wanted football to be my career.
Hmm.
And, it took me a while to get back on track, but actually, my uncle had came back home from Iraq, and the same year he came back home, that was the year I got back into football, and that was maybe about 2010.
So, I mean, what you say you got back into football? What'd you do?
I had jumped into the semi-pro league,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
and I've been playing that for the past couple of years, and now I just feel like it's time to step it up a notch.
Okay. So you've been playing semi-pro ball and everything. So, um, you're getting ready for this combine. What's going to set you apart from all the other kids or other folks at the combine? What? How old are you now?
26.
26.
Yeah.
What steps are you taking to outshine some of these kids that are going to be there? Because you probably have some kids younger than you. You might have some kids
Yeah.
older than you, but it's going to be competitive. So, what steps are you taking now to try to get ready for this next move in life?
I think the thing that really gonna set me apart is just just my hunger, because I know this is what I really want to do. This is my passion, and I didn't go the college route, and I've been out in the streets, and it was hard to get to the point where I am today. To even be in this position to go to the combine, and I feel like I owe it to myself and my family, and
Your uncle,
yeah,
especially.
yes, especially him, just to do the right thing,
Hmm.
and not fall victim to the streets out here, and it's tough, it's real tough, but
I see out here working out. I mean, you got a routine regimen. Have you been doing anything extra
yeah,
to help?
I work out with a trainer, I work out with him maybe about 3 or 4 days a week, and
Hmm.
outside of that, I work out too at my home, because my dad always told me it's not what you do like on the field, it's what you do off the field that's going to set you apart. So I know my trainer's going to have me, in the top shape. So I feel like whatever I do outside of that is only going to be a plus. So, and I'll always remember that. That's one thing I did that always stuck to me. Like, what I do outside of the regular workout, anything, that's what's going to set me apart from the rest. Where everybody's resting, I'm still working.
Okay. So it sounds like you're hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. Um, you're trying to get to the next level. What are your struggles now? What have you overcome to get to this point? I mean,
Actually, just my overall the Richmond lifestyle. Like it's easy to get caught up doing the same thing, and once you get used to it, it's just like you almost don't know nothing else. And I had to get out of that mind frame, because I knew, like, I didn't want to be stuck here,
hmm
you know. And like I said, I feel like I got a gift, and so I really wanted to maximize that. And like I know it was just the crowd I hung out with, the overall how I used to carry myself in
so you're
general.
thinking, you gotta going back to your cousin that was, killed. You're trying to stay out of that lifestyle so you don't become
Yeah,
another statistic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was hard, because, like I said, once you get used to being the same way for a long time, it's almost like you don't know nothing else.
Hmm.
But I know that's not who I wanted to be, and just my personality. I know I had to humble myself and just stay away from the wrong crowd. Just stay out of the light, basically.
Hmm.
And just pretty much stay to myself, and just work hard, and pray. Because I know it was at one point I was like, man, like, it was getting pretty rough, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I knew I wanted to play ball, but I didn't really want to be stuck in the semi-pro world, because I feel like I'm way better than that.
Hmm.
And like like one night, man, I pretty much broke down, and in my room I was watching ESPN, listening to people's stories, and I broke down, and I just asked God. I said, Like, God, if this game is really for me, just show me the way. Just give me another chance. Cause I know I had the good opportunities to, be the
Yeah, you
the
had
star athlete, and,
you
and
said
make it.
opportunities in the past, so
Yeah.
trying to make everything right.
Hmm.
So what is this going to mean to your family? It's going to be a big event. There'll be a lot of people from this part of the country attending it. What does this mean to your family? What does this mean to you to even get this opportunity?
Man, I know it means the world to me, but I know for my family, it's bigger than that. Cause I'm pretty much like the man of my family now, and for them to see me to actually do something that no one in our family has done, and a lot of guys from where I'm from haven't done.
Hmm.
That is like a blessing for them as well as to me, but I feel like they appreciate it way more than I do, just to see me do the right thing, you
Okay.
know, and pursue what I love to do. Cause other than football, I really don't know what else to do.
Okay. Well, I know when is the event and what dates?
I go to the regional combine on March 29th,
Hmm.
and that's in Maryland. And I'm gonna be ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna be ready.
And then after that, if you do well there, then what's the next step from there?
Pretty much, I believe the next step would be the super combine.
Hmm.
You know, that's the stage right there. That's the one everybody's working to get to.